opponent to face?
This is an easy question, believe it or not. Rey Mysterio, hands down. I'm not sure if, like, I mean, I've wrestled Rey, I don't know how many times, you know. I've wrestled him, I've been a good guy, I've been a bad guy, and there's just, I don't know, there's a unique chemistry. And I think Rey has great chemistry with a lot of people. I think me and him, for some reason, just bring out the best of each other.
You mentioned on Twitter that you're working on a DVD.
Yeah.
How's that coming along, and when do you expect it out?
The DVD is coming along fantastically. Wouldn't you say, Kieran? Kieran's sort of in charge of it. Where are those pictures at? You got those pictures? They're safe? Yeah, bust them out here. I went through and I dug up like a bunch of old pictures of me, and it's funny because I think people are like embarrassed of like where I came, or they think that I'm embarrassed. But this DVD is something else. It's 100% honesty. This, I don't know if you can see this. This is here's your Philly Wizard World exclusive. God, I don't even know how old I am here. I have to be 15, 16. I'm straight up fresh from wrestling in a backyard in this picture. It's gonna be awesome. There's a ton of good stuff. There's some. There you go. Before John Cena was wearing a chain in 1999, I was wrestling in West Allis, Wisconsin for Mid-America Wrestling, and I was wearing a chain because it was punk rock before it was Thugonomics. Yeah, I mean, there's this really, you guys can't see any of these. I don't know why I'm showing you this. This is this really cute picture of me in Colt Cabana where I'm not wearing my Cubs hat and I'm wearing a Canadians hockey hat. Hey, Patrick Waugh was my guy. Suck it. Yeah, so the DVD is coming along awesome. Thank you. And I'm actually frightened for what's going to be left on the cutting room floor because we've filmed a lot of cool stuff. Today's actually the last day we're filming, which sucks because you should come to Atlanta. I'm leaving for Spain on Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, Thursday, there's something or other in Atlanta. I'm going to Bouncing Souls, so you should. That's another one you should go see. But it's I've been very hands-on. He probably hates my guts by now. I'm trying to make it different than all the other DVDs. I'm trying to make it extremely honest. You know, and it's good. I think it should come out in October, which is the best month of the year anyway.
This young lady over here with the glasses in the second row wants to know, what is the status of the ice cream bar?
This question pisses me off because I've literally done everything I possibly can except for make the damn things myself. And the only problem with that is I'm never home, so I wouldn't be able to make them. I'm contemplating writing a letter to Ben & Jerry's and pleading my case and trying to get it done that way because I've exhausted all my resources. I don't know if it's an office thing, if it's met with a rolling of the eyes, and like they're leaving money on the table. They're leaving money on the table with this, and where I come from, you leave money on the table, somebody comes by and they grab it, you know, and I'll be damned if someone's, you know, stealing my ice cream bar idea. So I'm still working on it. It's a pain in the ass. Sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I love ice cream a lot, and it's a labor of love at this point.
So if you could pick anything else other than wrestling to do, what would you want to do?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is all I've ever done. It's kind of weird, you know. I never aspired to do anything else. I never went to college, which is probably really awful to say. You should go to school. I never wanted to do anything else. This is it. So I don't know. I guess I would be an adventurer. I'd be like Indiana Jones.
Bad answer! Well, we're here at Wizard World, so the next question a lot of people have is, if you were a comic book character, what power or ability would you want?
You like invisibility? That's a good one. That's a good one. But this question is actually it's kind of rooted in why I dislike Superman. Because, okay, so if you were invisible, right? And do you like girls yet? You like, no, not yet. Well, I have a problem. I like girls a lot. So if I was to be able to turn invisible, there's no way I'm using this power for good. Problem with Superman. I mean, he's indestructible. He can fly. He can disintegrate people with laser beams from his eyeballs. And everybody has bad days. You know, there's all kinds of stories out there about me being a big jerk. And, you know, certain people catch me at the wrong time. Like, you know, at 5 in the morning and you're sticking a camera in my face when I'm trying to pee. It's probably not, you know. And if I was Superman and that was happening, I would melt you and I would... and I'd just be like, oh, it's just a bad day. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. Being able to fly would be pretty cool. What's that?
Make the travel easier, right?
I hate flying, so maybe that's actually a bad power. I tend to think I'm indestructible anyway, so maybe that's my superpower. I don't know. It's a hard question, you know. Man, think about it. Being vulnerable, you could fly. One that I wouldn't want. I would not want to be able to read people's minds, because that would suck. Nobody's ever actually thought about that, how awful that would be. Because I know I have really sociopathic thoughts, so I don't want anybody reading my mind.
So growing up, who was your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero. It's kind of a hard one to say. I've always been a Batman guy. But I think that has a lot to do with like my personality and the fact that, and this is also another big argument in the comic book community of I think Gotham City is Chicago. It's always been Chicago. Gotham City is not New Jersey. Oh, you swear? You swear it's New Jersey? Really? You swear? Yeah? No, it's not. It's not New Jersey. It's not.
New Jersey's a state.
But my problem is I've never really been super huge into the Batman comic book. That's because I'm kind of a snob about who's writing and who's, you know. Right now the Scott Snyder stuff is amazing, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Got a couple tattoo questions here. What was the first tattoo you ever got?
The first tattoo I ever got was the cover of the Operation Ivy album. It's on my left calf. Yeah. So God, I think I was 16 years old. I was a little badass. I was like, I got a tattoo. Yeah, that was the first one.
It seems like you might be running out of room. Do you plan on getting any more?
Oh, I got tons of room. My legs are still wide open. That time is the problem, you know. I mean, I got my chest done a couple days after, actually I think the day after I got elbow surgery a couple years ago, because I thought I would have time off, and then they brought me to TV the next week. So now that was when I exploded my hip. I've never ever had time off. It's fascinating. I don't know how I do it.
So what's the meaning behind the Rosie the Riveter tattoo you got?
Rosie, behind Rosie is the wrenches, which is a Earth Crisis thing, which straight edge. Correct. And the banner says this is a war, and Rosie's X'd up. I'm a feminist, believe it or not. I've always had this super respect for women. I think women are the stronger of the two, and you guys put up with a lot of bullshit, so sorry.
All right, well that's going to be it for these questions now. It's time for your questions.
Yeah.
So we got a small room, but if you speak up loud, we'll try to get to as many as humanly possible. So the first one up, we're going to go right here.
My favorite match I've ever competed in. Oh man, I don't know. That kind of puts me on the spot. There's been a lot. I miss wrestling Joe a lot. I I think that the time period in Ring of Honor where I was working Joe and then I worked Jimmy Rave, and I think selfishly because that was all me to an extent, not the in-ring stuff, but like I legit got Joe drunk one night and talked him into wrestling me for 60 minutes. And I just called Gabe and I was like, yep, we're doing 60 minutes. And he was like, oh, this is awesome. This is such a great idea. Great. And then Joe woke up the next day and he was just like, what did I do? You know, creatively I had all these ideas and I had an outlet and Gabe trusted me enough to be able to do it. The Summer of Punk stuff, when I walked in and told Gabe I signed a contract, but I literally laid out, I go, but this is what we're going to do. We're not going to tell anybody. Everyone's going to think I'm gone. We're going to trick them, and then we're going to stab them in the heart. That was, you know, that was all from my sociopathic brain. So that's like my favorite time, just because I don't know, I was on point. I felt like I was really creative, and being able to wrestle guys like Joe and stuff like that, it is a pleasure. I hope someday I'll be able to wrestle him again, and I think the 10-year anniversary of me and him wrestling is coming up. So maybe I'll quit and go wrestle Joe. Who inspired me? I would say the two people who inspired me to wrestle the most. Number one was Roddy Piper, far away. And number two, for some reason, when I was a kid, I was really, really drawn to like fat, chubby stripper Shawn Michaels. Just I think performance-wise, like I couldn't tell you why, like, but for some reason I recognized that this guy was the best, you know. But I wasn't smart to anything. It was kind of like this intuition thing.
Third row.
I think you know the answer to this question. Hey, Philly, do I prefer to be a bad guy or a good guy? Yes, my life over the past year has been a living hell. I'm often put in situations currently where I kind of have to be this cheesy good guy, and there's reasons for it. I wouldn't be able to be where I am if I was still the CM Punk that was trying to get people to stab me and set me on fire, but that's what got me to here. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know. There's reasons for everything I do, but yeah, being a bad guy, I think I'm just so much better at it. I don't know, it's just something I was born with.
We need more pipe bombs.
See, but what does that mean? You need more pipe bombs. See, if I go out there every week and I do what I did when I cut that promo in Vegas, it really loses its steam, you know. But every week I stir the pot, and trust me, it gets old. I don't want to work with Johnny.
Green shirt right here.
See, this is the crazy stuff I did. This was all things that led me. These are roads that led to the WWE. Because I was at the end of my run on the Indies, I was so bored, and I'm very goal oriented. Like, I need to do the next thing. I need to find out what the next goal is, and I need to conquer it. You know, so thankfully there's still a handful of things I need to do in the WWE. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do. But you know, I was always trying to push the envelope, and it was one of those things. Our show was run in the same building. The front was a strip club, and like the back was it was like a nightclub. And we were running the show in there, and we had this Falls Count Anywhere match. So naturally, I was like, well, what happens if we go fight in the strip club and not tell anybody? You know, what's gonna happen? And he loved it. He was like, yo, dog, let's do it, you know. So we did it, and like nobody knew what was going on, and those girls had no idea, and so that was all pretty spontaneous, and it's just goofing around and having fun.
Billy Patton Center.
Now that you and Daniel Bryan and are big stars from WWE, obviously going back to your earlier stage, you guys were huge deal. Just how does it feel now that you guys have come almost full circle with your main event and things like WrestleMania?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm too close to it to really, I think, appreciate but I mean, a lot of people tell me, you know, a lot of you in the crowd today were like, oh, I used to see you at the Murphy Rec Center, and it's a pretty wild ride, and it's a pretty wild story if you sit and think about it, you know. I mean, he's been fired from this company 2 times, you know. He was hired early in his career as a developmental wrestler, and he got fired, and then obviously he was fired like a summer or 2 ago, you know, and then there's me who, you know, everybody since the beginning of time, since I worked for Ian Rotten, told me I would never work here because OVW was a developmental territory and they hated Ian and blah, 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 blah. I'm essentially, I think that's a big part of my DVD too, is I'm essentially the guy that was never, ever supposed to make it to the WWE, and here I am. Pretty crazy. He asked me if I respect Daniel Bryan. Of course I respect Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of him. He, you know, I think on any given day, like he's better than I am. There's certain things he's better at, and there's certain things that I'm better at than him, and I think it's just it's a great marriage in the ring. You know, you probably haven't seen anything yet because I know I worked him last night and the first time we ever worked on a house show, so that's when the stuff's really gonna get crazy.
Right here.
Who have I not wrestled that I would like to wrestle?
Austin. Kelly.
There's a lot of, somebody did say Kelly. I've actually wrestled her, but wrestling, guys. She was in OVW with me. Come on. Who do you think taught her the handspring back elbow? What's up? I mean, there's so many options. I feel really fortunate that I was able to wrestle Undertaker. I think I'm really proud of those matches because I would beat the shit out of him. You know, and I was living out my weird, like, oh, this is sort of like wrestling Jason Voorhees fantasy, you know? Like, keep coming at you and I just have to keep being aggressive. And that's the stuff I like to do. I like to be super aggressive. Shawn Michaels is one, obviously. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Not up to me, guys. Obviously, I think old Stephen Austin, right? Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people want to see that for some reason. I don't know why. I think I would like to get in the ring with The Rock, too. I think right now that's a more viable option because he cut a promo before he left again and said that he wanted to be WWE champion again. So I'm here, you know.
Don't jump! Give me this! What is it? Watch out for AJ!
There's a lot of people that I wish I could have wrestled though that I never got a chance to. Somebody like Muda, you know. I could sit here and talk about that forever.
Right here.
How was working with Raven? Raven was the first guy to really kind of teach me stuff. Everything else was just like, you know, I want to do this, and then okay, well I want to do this, and then it's your turn, and it's my turn. He taught me a lot of stuff. That being said, he kind of wore thin after a while. But I was married to the guy for like a year, you know. But he did teach me a lot.
Right here. That's you.
I lived in El Paso for a couple of years, so I'm wondering if you have any special memories about Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, I got a ton of special memories about Eddie Guerrero. Another guy I was fortunate enough to wrestle multiple times. And damn it, the guy was a friend of mine. You know, I think he was actually the first person that called me after I fractured my skull. You know, and he knew. He was like, "What did you do?" And I was like, you know, it was like a neck breaker. And then Eddie was the guy to tell me, you know, it's not the moves you do, it's when you do them. And I was like, oh, I wish you would have told me that a week ago. I broke my head. Thanks. Yeah, I got a special relationship with his daughters and Vicky too, so that it carries on. So it's pretty cool as a kid who, you know, I mean, he was the greatest wrestler in the world, you know. Whoops, sorry, that's so rude. Sorry. Yeah, tons of great memories about Eddie though.
Thank you very much.
Okay. He asked me what I think about John Laurinaitis.